takeaways from this chapter. What are your takeaways from this chapter?
I pretty much already said mine. I literally just wrote down book Ron, and I busted a Hermione, and I put little hearts next to book Ron. I did. I put little hearts next to book Ron because he's my absolute favorite character. I mean, they make him out to be such an idiot in the movies. Such a, just like you said, just a comedic little side piece there. But he comes up with some gems. His comedy is great. It's really good. It's timely. It's funny. But also just the depth of character that he has in the book. It's much better. I love his little lines, his insight, the way that he defended Hermione, or the way that you can start to see how he secretly admires Hermione and her abilities, and how he, like I said, gave her flowers, because we don't really see that at all. It's like a secret admiration for the most part, right?
And I would even add on to that, you see a lot of the Weasley family character altogether, because Fred and George immediately tried to pounce on that. Like, they didn't pull out their wands, they were ready to fight.
Oh yeah, they love a good brawl.
Oh yeah. Fred and George are a little physical.
yeah, they're down for a little tussle.
Yeah, but immediately all three Weasleys jumped into action. Like, how dare you talk? Well, Alicia screamed it. How dare you talk? You know, but the three Weasleys immediately jumped into action and attacked. So you see, like, not only more of Ron's character, but also just the Weasley family kind of morals and character in there too, because you know I love the Weasleys. I love the Weasleys so much. My other takeaway, in addition to, because that was my takeaway too, was like, God, they just did Ron so dirty in the movies.
Yeah,
they really did. Because yes, he's funny, and yes, he's a comedic sidekick, but he's also extremely intelligent and of beautiful moral fiber, and like, they really, really diminished him in the movies.
Which also makes the quip that much more hilarious. Because if you know and you experience the depth of his character, then when he has those quippy moments, you're like, man, that timing is just...
Yeah. They just... And now, as I'm thinking about it, they really did a lot of the Weasleys wrong in the movies. Because we didn't get as much of Fred and George as we could have, because in the books they're together all the time. Fred and George are Gryffindors too. Like, they're always in the common room when they're in the common room. They play on the Quidditch team with Harry. Like, they're always around.
Well, and when we get into the other books as well, like, their level of intelligence. So, like, yes, I know that they are like the jokesters, right? But why do you hear the bangs and all the sounds and the smells and the whatever coming from their room? Because they're highly intelligent. Like, they're using their magic in a way that, like, is advanced. It's very advanced. It's very inventive. It's like inventor status, right? They're doing.
Don't really get that in the movies from Fred and George. And then we've already talked about, I think, almost at length, how book Jenny is so much more superior to movie Jenny, because movie Jenny was like so underwhelming.
Oh yeah, but again, with the moral fiber of the Weasley family.
That too. Yeah, like, so it's just I think the Weasleys got the short end of the stick in the movies, because all of them, we didn't get the level and depth of character that we get in the books from the twins, from Ron, or from Ginny. Matter of fact, I would even venture to say I don't really like movie Ginny. And book Ginny is badass. Like, book Ginny is probably my second favorite character behind Hermione as far as skill and you know, all of that good stuff.
And even Mrs. Weasley and Arthur Weasley. Like,
yeah,
Molly and Arthur also get dirty.
Yeah, they really, really do. So my other takeaway from this chapter had to do with the whole mudblood thing. And the fact that there are 28 pureblood families in the wizarding world. We know this from other canon and stuff. I don't know if it ever comes up in the books or the movies, but we know this from other canon that there are 28 specific pureblood magical families. And like literally anybody who has an issue with muggleborns or half-bloods or anything like that, this purity culture that certain pureblood families have. Now remember, the Weasleys are also purebloods. That's the other thing here, is the Malfoys are purebloods and he's nasty and he says things like mudblood, which, as Hermione says in the movie, is not something that comes up in civilized conversation. So more character here, not that we didn't already know Malfoy was not a nice person. But just a little more insight into the kind of person he is and the kind of family he has and the kind of beliefs that he's been brought up with. But the fact that, like, truthfully, if you only dealt with other purebloods, at some point y'all are inbred. So
150,000%.
So,
but here's my thing: are there only 28 in the world or in the UK?
Oh, it might be in the UK. It might be just in their part of the wizarding world. But yeah, even still though, like, if you're trying to only go purebred, y'all are inbred, because
yeah, absolutely.
There's no other.
Like, when the characters, like, as the books develop and stuff, we'll hear more about how this person and that person are related because of this or whatever, right? Like, yeah, we'll get more of that. Oh, you want to see that show?
So yeah, that was another, and of course the parallel to real world racism. Was the takeaway there.
Yeah.
Almost like mudblood is the N-word of the wizarding world.
Yeah.
So those were my takeaways. Like, the Weasleys were done wrong, and you can't call it racism because it's not race, but I don't know, bloodism?
Elitism in some way.
Classism.
Yeah.
Yeah.